The land we know today as Burkina Faso has a rich history. People have lived there for many centuries. In the beginning, nomadic hunters roamed the land. Over time, farming communities emerged. These communities became more organized. These early inhabitants faced challenges from the expanding Sahara Desert. They adapted by moving south. This migration led to interactions with other groups. It also contributed to the development of early empires in the region. By the 11th century, powerful kingdoms emerged across the African continent, each with its own unique culture, governance, and influence. These kingdoms were not isolated entities but were interconnected through trade, diplomacy, and sometimes conflict. Among these, the Mossi Kingdom stood out prominently. Located in what is now present-day Burkina Faso, the Mossi Kingdoms were a confederation of states that played a significant role in the region's history. Their strategic location allowed them to control important trade routes and interact with neighboring kingdoms and empires. The Mossi were renowned for their formidable cavalry. Their warriors, often depicted on horseback, were a symbol of their military prowess. This skilled cavalry was not just a defensive force, but also played a crucial role in expanding their territories and influence. Trade was the lifeblood of these kingdoms. They engaged in extensive trade networks that spanned across the Sahara and beyond. Goods such as gold, salt, and textiles were exchanged, bringing wealth and prosperity to the Mossi kingdoms. These trade routes also facilitated cultural exchanges, bringing new ideas and technologies to the region. The social structure of the Mossi kingdoms was complex and hierarchical. At the top was the king, known as the Mogo Naba, who wielded significant power and influence. Below him were various nobles, warriors, and commoners, each with their own roles and responsibilities. This structured society allowed for efficient governance and stability. Despite their strength, the Mossi kingdoms were not without challenges. They faced external pressures from neighboring empires and internal conflicts. However, their ability to adapt and respond to these threats ensured their survival and continued dominance. One of the most significant threats came from the Mali Empire, one of the most powerful empires in West Africa. The Mali Empire sought to expand its territory and influence, but the Mossi kingdoms successfully resisted these attempts. Their resistance was not just a military victory, but also a testament to their resilience and strategic acumen. This successful resistance against the Mali Empire solidified the Mossi kingdom's dominance in the region. They became a symbol of power and resilience, maintaining their independence and influence for centuries. However, the arrival of Europeans in the late 19th century brought new challenges. The colonization of Africa by European powers disrupted the traditional structures and power dynamics of the continent. Despite this, the legacy of the Mossi kingdoms endures, a testament to their historical significance and enduring influence. The arrival of the French in the late 19th century marked a turning point. France wanted to expand its colonial empire. They saw Burkina Faso as strategically important. The French faced resistance from the local population. Despite resistance, France established control by the early 20th century. They made Burkina Faso part of French West Africa. This colonial rule had a profound impact. It reshaped the country's political, economic, and social landscape. After World War II, there was a growing movement for independence across Africa. Burkina Faso was no exception. People were tired of colonial rule. They wanted to govern themselves. The path to independence was not easy. France was reluctant to give up its colonies. There were also internal divisions within Burkina Faso. However, the desire for self-determination was strong. Section 5. The Upper Volta becomes Burkina Faso. This chapter delves into the fascinating journey of a nation that transformed its identity and embraced a new future. On August 5, 1960, Upper Volta, as it was then known, achieved independence. This momentous occasion was marked by jubilant celebrations across the country. People took to the streets waving flags and dancing to traditional music as they rejoiced in their newfound freedom from colonial rule. The air was filled with hope and anticipation for a brighter future. It marked a new era for the country. The sense of unity and national pride was palpable as citizens from various ethnic backgrounds came together to celebrate their shared identity. The independence of Upper Volta was not just a political milestone, it was a cultural renaissance that reignited the spirit of the nation. The name Upper Volta was a colonial legacy. It was derived from the Volta River, which flows through the country. The name was imposed by the French colonial rulers and did not reflect the true essence of the land or its people. For many, it was a constant reminder of the years of subjugation and exploitation under colonial rule. The Volta River, with its three main tributaries, the Black Volta, White Volta, and Red Volta, was a significant geographical feature. However, the name Upper Volta did not resonate with the cultural and historical identity of the people. It was a name that belonged to the colonial past, not the independent future that the citizens envisioned. In 1984, the country underwent a significant transformation. Under the leadership of President Thomas Sankara, a charismatic and revolutionary figure, the nation embarked on a journey of radical change. Sankara was determined to break free from the shackles of colonialism and build a self-reliant and proud nation. The name was changed to Burkina Faso. This new name, meaning Land of the Upright People, was a powerful statement of the country's values and aspirations. It was a declaration of the people's integrity, resilience, and determination to stand tall and forge their own path. This means Land of the Upright People in the Mossi and Dioula languages. The name change was more than a symbolic gesture. It was a profound affirmation of the nation's cultural heritage and linguistic diversity. It honored the indigenous languages and traditions that had been suppressed during the colonial era. This change reflected a desire to break free from the colonial past. It was a bold move to reclaim the nation's identity and assert its sovereignty. The people of Burkina Faso were ready to write their own history, free from the shadows of colonialism. They began to remove colonial symbols and replace them with national symbols that represented their true identity. It also aimed to embrace a new national identity. The name Burkina Faso encapsulated the spirit of unity, pride, and progress. It was a call to all citizens to stand together as upright people, to work towards a common goal, and to build a nation that future generations could be proud of. The transformation from Upper Volta to Burkina Faso was not just a change of name, it was a rebirth of a nation. Section 6. Thomas Sankara, a visionary leader. One of the most significant figures in Burkina Faso's history is Thomas Sankara. Born on December 21, 1949 in Yako, Upper Volta, which is now known as Burkina Faso, Sankara was destined to leave an indelible mark on his country. From a young age, he exhibited leadership qualities and a deep sense of justice, which would later define his political career. He came to power in 1983 following a coup that ousted the previous government. At just 33 years old, Sankara became the president of Burkina Faso, bringing with him a wave of hope and a promise of change. His rise to power was not just a political shift but a cultural revolution. Sankara was a charismatic leader. His speeches were electrifying, filled with passion and a clear vision for the future. He had the ability to connect with people from all walks of life, inspiring them to believe in a better tomorrow. His charisma was not just in his words but in his actions, as he led by example. He had a vision for a self-reliant and socially just Burkina Faso. Sankara implemented radical reforms. He changed the country's name from Upper Volta to Burkina Faso, meaning Land of Upright People, to reflect the new national identity. His policies focused on reducing dependency on foreign aid, promoting local production, and fostering a sense of national pride. He promoted education, healthcare, and women's rights. Sankara believed that true development could only be achieved through an educated and healthy population. He launched nationwide literacy campaigns, built schools, and improved healthcare facilities. Moreover, he was a staunch advocate for women's rights, encouraging women to take active roles in society and government. He also challenged corruption and foreign influence. Sankara was known for his integrity and his relentless fight against corruption. He reduced the salaries of government officials, including his own, and sold off the government's fleet of luxury cars. In foreign policy, he was vocal against neocolonialism and sought to build alliances with other progressive nations. His policies made him popular domestically. The people of Burkina Faso saw in him a leader who genuinely cared for their well-being and was committed to improving their lives. His popularity was evident in the massive crowds that gathered to hear him speak and the widespread support for his initiatives. However, they also created enemies. Sankara's bold reforms and outspoken nature threatened the interests of powerful groups both within and outside the country. His stance against corruption and foreign exploitation made him many adversaries, leading to political tension and conflict. Despite the challenges, Sankara's legacy as a visionary leader continues to inspire many around the world. Section 7. Political instability and coups. Tragically, Sankara's rule was cut short. He was assassinated in a coup in 1987. This coup ushered in a period of political instability. Burkina Faso experienced a series of coups and political upheavals. On December 29, 2015, Roch-Marc Christian Kabore, who was previously elected as president, took office as the Burkina Faso's third president. He remained in office until a coup removed him from office in 2022. On January 24, 2022, President Roch-Marc Christian Kabore was removed as president in a coup that replaced him with Lieutenant Colonel Paul-Henri Sandaogo Damiba. Paul-Henri Sandaogo Damiba remained in office until September of 2022, when he was replaced in a coup by Captain Ibrahim Traore, who took office as president in October of 2022. Since 2022, Captain Ibrahim Traore has remained in office as president up to now in 2025. Since 2022 to 2025, however, there has been a series of failed attempted coups to remove Captain Ibrahim Traore from office, but he remains. This instability hindered the country's development. It also led to human rights violations. The repeated changes in leadership made it difficult to establish long-term stability. The year 2022 was a difficult year for political stability in Burkina Faso as it coped with the series of coups. The events leading up to this included widespread dissatisfaction with the government's handling of security issues. Section 8. Economic challenges and progress. Burkina Faso is one of the poorest countries in the world. It faces numerous economic challenges. These include drought, poverty, and limited infrastructure. However, there has been some progress. The government has implemented reforms to promote economic growth. These include attracting foreign investment and supporting small businesses. The country has also benefited from international aid. Section 9. Social progress and cultural heritage. Despite the challenges, Burkina Faso has made progress in areas like education and healthcare. The literacy rate has been steadily increasing. Access to healthcare has also improved. Burkina Faso has a rich cultural heritage. It is known for its music, dance, and traditional crafts. The country is home to diverse ethnic groups. Each group contributes to the cultural tapestry of Burkina Faso. Section 10. Burkina Faso today, a nation's resilience. Burkina Faso today is a country facing many challenges. It continues to grapple with poverty, political instability, and security threats. However, the people of Burkina Faso are resilient. They have a strong sense of community and a determination to build a better future. The international community is supporting Burkina Faso in its efforts to achieve peace and development. Thank you for joining us to learn about the history of Burkina Faso. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video about Burkina Faso's fascinating history. Bye for now.